like Harish Bhai said, it helps to repeat and it helps to keep practicing all these repeated exercises. So one of the thing I was thinking that in a nice, gorgeous day, whether you are indoor or you get a chance to go out, go outside and just stand, find a quiet spot and breathe in. Let us do sitting here. Let us breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 4 slowly. So I'll count. Breathe in 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out 3, 2, 1. Breathe in 3, 2, 1. Breathe out 3, 2, 1. Breathe in 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out 3, 2. So if one practices this kind of practice standing outside or even at home, that fresh air fills our body. You feel a little refreshed. You can practice this 10 to 15 times. What it does is when the breathing is slow, it calms our nerves down, it stimulates the parasympathetic system, and you feel refreshed. The second practice one can do is again stand outside. And so like before, we have learned that when we rub our hands and you breathe in, separate your hands and breathe out, bring your hands together. Second time, breathe in, separate more this time and breathe out. Third time, even breathe in more and look up. When you are looking up at the trees and sky standing outside, it is amazing feeling. Breathe out. Let us do a couple of more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. So if one can even practice this particular practice 10 to 15 times to feel that fresh air, to open up the air passages and to get that fresh spring feeling. So now we can start with I mentioned that one can get the nasal congestion, chest congestion, sneezing, coughing. So let us start with the nasal breathing. And with the one finger on the left nostril, let us breathe with the right nostril and press the finger on the right nostril and breathe out with the left nostril. Breathe in again with the left nostril, press it and breathe out with the right nostril. Breathe in with the right nostril, press the right nostril and breathe out slowly through the left nostril. Breathe in with the left nostril and breathe out with the right nostril. Okay, so one can do this several times until the sinuses feel good. And now, again, we'll rub our hands and put your both hands on the face, on one eyes each, and massage your face. massage your face, massage your cheeks and jaw. And then we can do the massage the forehead. There are frontal sinuses right here. So we can press it with the thumb and index finger. Massage our frontal sinuses. We can massage the ethmoid sinuses right here at the base of the nose. And the sphenoid sinuses are outside. Actually, they are deep seated in the skull, but we can massage it right here. And finally, we can massage the maxillary sinuses. Now, we have learned that sinuses are very important in producing nitrous oxide that helps our breathing system. But when sinuses are blocked, what we can do is we can close one nostril, tilt on that side, and tap our sinuses, our maxillary. We can massage that sinus a little bit. So if that side of the nose is clogged, with this sinus draining, it helps. Okay. And we can reverse by pressing the other nostril and tap on the maxilla on that side of the sinuses. And after tapping, also massage them. And many a times with this technique, the sinuses open up. And finally, I would get into breath hold. So what I will suggest everyone, we can breathe in for 5 times. Breathe in and then breathe out 10 times. So let us do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I did slightly wrong. I'm sorry. So we can close our nose for 5 and breathe for 10 seconds. So I did it wrong. So let us do the correct way. So we all can pinch our nose for 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pinch again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On to Kalind bhai.
Thank you, Panam. And one of the interesting things that I have been often asked about, what is this tapping business? What is it, tapping and massage? What does tapping do? Does tapping help anything? Now, if you imagine a cavity with air in it versus solid bone, okay? Solid bone here. When you tap on solid bone, there are vibrations that go through the tapping itself. The tapping will produce vibrations in the tissues. And you know very well that the bone vibrations is because it's solid, okay? It will be a little different. Muscle is a little softer tissue. The vibrations will be a little different. But what happens when you have a little air in this? Air sacs here, air sinuses and everything. It's entirely different. If you were to have a little, say for example, a little box, solid box versus have an air in it, and you can you can actually do that. The drums that we use, there's little air in it, so drum makes a different noise. And so that's exactly what happens. The sound waves go when you tap, they go inside the lining of the sinuses. And that is what really produces significant amount of vibrations and also the nitric oxide that we're talking about. So this is just a little bit background on how the tapping works. The second thing that I need to mention when we massage this, it's a little background, little some details. When the body is formed, when the child is formed, okay, there are three layers: skin, the middle layer, and the deeper layer. Every child is, when they are formed in the mother's womb, these are three layers, and they are in same sequence. Okay, see, if I'm going to show you the sequence is the same way, like this, like this, like this. And so what happens is, let's say the skin is here, the lung and the heart is here, and the deeper part of the portion. So chest area develops like this. They are in sequence and they are in continuity. So of course, then the body develops and everything else. But what happens is, because they were like this inside the mother's womb, okay, there is a message. There's a continuity. They were neighbors one time, And so when you massage something, when you massage here, it goes deeper. Say you are going to massage here in the heart area. Your vibrations and whatever you do absolutely does go to the organ, because there are three continuous like this. Okay, this is the principle of all the massages that we do, and I'm sure everybody has had some kind of experience, good experience with the massage. So these are a little bit tidbits that you need to understand why massages work. Okay, and it's simple. It's not complicated. And I know I dealt with some embryology, but hey, this is that simple as that. Okay, it's no big deal. So now that you know, it's a little bit detailed, but hopefully it will be better for you to understand why these things work. And guess what? You do self massages, you'll save a lot of money, isn't it? Instead of going to a regular massage, it's very, very helpful. So learn the self massages in different areas. We're just beginning here. We will do other areas and everything. So with that, I'm going to request now the next here would be our friend. Please mute yourself if you are not going to present anything. All of you who are not really going to talk or present, please mute yourselves, because the recording is being done. And what happens is, when you have any kind of noise coming, your recording will be recorded on the YouTube that way too. So I really request everyone who is not going to present, please mute yourself. Thank you. We're going to go over to Deepak Bhai now for further, practices. Deepak Bhai.
Okay. Thank you, Kalind bhai. Today we'll review one of the techniques that we learned to slow the breath, and that is pursed lip breathing. So please have this glass with a half water ready with a straw. If you can get it, it will be very helpful for this practice. Okay. What we are going to do is, this is the practice to lengthen the exhale time. We heard before that, our breathing practice is just inhale, exhale, and hold. It's only three practice, three things. So today, in this practice, we try to lengthen our exhaling. And this is also the simplest way to control the shortness of breath. Blowing bubble in water allows us to control and adjust the speed at which we make the bubbles to as slow as we can count, So we'll try to do very, very slow bubbling, okay? And hopefully we'll be able to count the bubbles. If not, we are going to count. We are going to count our timing, okay? So the timing, we start the bubble, and until when we end the bubbling, we'll count the time on a stopwatch, and we'll report in a chat box. Okay, so this will be I'm going to describe the method first. So we'll take a full breath. Full breath is, we'll take a deep belly breath, then the lower part of the lung, and then the upper part of the lung. Then we raise the hand a little bit like this, and then we'll try to fill up as much as we can in the lung. That will be full breath. Okay. And then as soon as we have a full breath complete, immediately we'll start blowing the bubble into the glass of water continuously and as slow as we can. Continuously and as slow as we can. If we stop in between, that means we are inhaling in between, and that would not be the right count. So it has to be continuous and a slow. Because slow means slow because we want to lengthen the exhale time. And at the end of this exhale, we may need to take a deep breath in, which is called recovery breath. So we can take a deep breath in and then hold as long as we can, and that will be our recovery breath. We'll do this practice 2 times, and so let's start. Get ready. I'll lead you through this practice. Okay. So let's get let me see. Let's get a glass of water with a straw, and we'll take a deep inhale. Take a deep belly breath. Then the lower part of the lung, fill up the lower part of the lung, upper part of the lung, then raise the hand and then fill up as much as you can. Then start blowing the bubble and start the stopwatch.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now we'll do one more time. So we'll take everybody, you can note down the time, and then we'll do one more time. So we'll take a deep belly breath again. Lower part of the lung, upper part of the lung. Raise the hand. Start blowing. Okay, so that's so you can put down your timing if you measured it in a chat box. So this practice does involve this full breath. It does involve this pursed lip breathing and recovery breath. Now, what is the advantage of this practice? First thing is it reduces the breath per minute. It reduces the breath per minute. It slows down our breath. Then it gives more time to our alveoli to absorb oxygen. Also, at the same time, the heart rate goes down. And when you do this practice, like let's say 5 minutes or even more or something like that, then you'll feel very, calmness, and you'll feel relaxed. You'll feel cool, and it will calm you down. So these are the advantages of this practice. And back to you, Kalind bhai. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak Bhai. And what's interesting about this practice is that it's very simple. It's not something that's complicated, and it's something that you can do very easily. And kids love to do this. You start the kids off with this, okay? Just play with them, grandchildren or children or whatever. It's just fun stuff to do. And when they start building up the capacity, and it doesn't really matter how they breathe. Don't go into abdominal and chest, and don't worry about any of that. Just say, take real deep breath, and then go. Now, one of the things that I would like you to do, and you may want to try this, is since I have a little bit extra time here, what I'm going to do, all of you to do, is inhale first. I'm just going to share with you a little bit of, modification, which I did. And I did the modification. I know today I was like 52 seconds, but the point is, I inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, and exhale more. Put your hand on the belly. Here it is. Put your hand on the belly and exhale more. Exhale as much as you can. Now start inhaling. Inhale, belly, chest, and full breath. And then hold it for a second. Hold it just for a little bit, second. And then slowly start. Very slowly. Now, the bubbles don't have to be continuous, okay? That's an important thing. They don't have to be continuous, but slowly exhaling. And the exhalation will go from empty the chest, upper chest first, lower chest, and then the belly. And as you do the belly part of it, push the belly back as you exhale. Try this. So let's start. Let's do one more time and see how your timer is there and what happens with the timing. So inhale, exhale. This is all the setup, okay? This is setup. We relax. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Now exhale more. Press the belly back. Expel all the air. Start inhaling, the belly coming out. Lower chest. Upper chest. Start your timer and start blowing slowly. Start blowing slowly. Take your time with emptying the top part. Focus on it. Focus on the bubbles. Focus on the exhalation. Small amount of air coming out. Let the chest empty first, upper part, lower part, and then the belly. Keep doing it longer and longer. Focus on it. You still have a lot of air. People will not have trouble with completely oxygen gone. Nobody has died blowing bubbles. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Focus. And you will see, wow, look at this. I'm getting bigger and bigger numbers here. Yeah, the same numbers were very, very low. I don't know whatever happened, but the numbers are going up. I can see that. That's wonderful. 41, 45, all right. 34, 45, that's great. So, it's interesting about this is that when we manage our breathing, this is, guess what? This is pranayam, okay? Pranayam. Ayam means control. Prana means breathing. You're controlling the breathing. So all this is pranayam, this and that. It's okay, pranayam. This is also pranayam, okay? Pranayam means control your breath. And you're controlling the breathing. So I just want to simplify the whole thing to say, when you inhale, when you exhale completely and empty, you are not increasing the capacity to fill it up. Simple. Now, it does two things. It increases the capacity for inhalation, number one. So it gives a lot of exercise to the diaphragm, the chest, and all the way up. So the muscles also open up and they get exercised. And the alveoli are nothing but those little sacs, air sacs, Last time I told you about 400 million to 500 million alveoli, air sacs in our lungs, in adults. And in order to open all that up, you will have a little bit more exercise to do. So that's called the full breath. The deep breath is just in the belly. Full breath is entire, both areas of the lungs. So once you do that, then the next step we're doing is pursed lip breathing. Pursed lip means you are closing very slowly and you are blowing the bubble slowly. Now, controlled breath gives two or three things. One, it gives a lot of time for exhalation. So what that does is the oxygen that is all there inside. So we have done a lot of breathing, a lot of oxygen has gone in. That extra oxygen that is there goes to various areas in the tissues in the body. So it is more. The exchange time is more, which is very good. So that's number one. Number two, what happens is when you blow slowly like this, as you exhale, that all air also circulates in the sinuses. So you have increased in the nitric oxide. We talked about that a little bit. Nitric oxide is a beautiful gas, wonderful. It does multiple things. It is antiviral, antibacterial, and all that stuff. So it's the good stuff. So you're generating good stuff. Now, the next thing, how do we know that we are doing not too fast? Like, for example, if I was going to do pursed lip breathing, I was going to breathe out like so. And if I had a candle in front of me with a flame, that flame should not flicker. That is slowly, that's how slowly we have to do. Or there was a little feather here hanging. Then the feather will not move a whole lot as I'm breathing. That is it's called a laser out, breathing out. Laser breathing out. I mean, I just introduced the term. I guess it's there somewhere, but it's like very slow. And you do this more and more. There are two or three advantages. One is oxygenation is good. Nitric oxide is good. And the third part is very good is people who have asthma, people who have, constriction of the lung, etc. Any of this, that helps. Now, this is a picture that I want to show you, inhalation and exhalation. And what happens is when you inhale big time, take your time inhalation, it does two things. Sympathetic system gets stimulated, heart rate goes up a little bit, awareness increases, and energy increases. So when you do that inhalation, awareness is more, energy is more, which we want. Many times we want the energy. But then we want to balance it out. So we go slowly. When you exhale more and longer, if you make this longer, this is equal here, but the exhalation is longer, then it becomes parasympathetic, the heart rate goes down, and relaxation occurs and calmness occurs. So now you are balancing the two. Now, whenever you balance the two, it's called yoga. Yoga is nothing but yoga samatvam uchyate. That's what in Gita says. Samatvam means equal. So when you do equal things, it becomes like a yoga. So, I mean, you can call anything you want. Doesn't really matter. It's just breathing in and breathing out. Okay, no big deal. And also breathing in and breathing out on this one. So if you want to call this fancy word and fancy stuff, you go ahead and welcome to do that. But if you practice this, you will have a lot of benefits. So on that, I'm going to ask Harish Bhai to let us go to a one additional fantastic practice today. It's a new practice. And so Harish Bhai, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Kalind bhai. Usually, Kalind bhai already mentioned lots of time that yoga is basically, in our Vedic, we say yoga, different kind, but basically it's a breathing practices. Now, there are lots of different yogas, and like before, Khalid bhai mentioned that anybody can pick up from buffet whatever it fit their needs and easiness of doing it. So now today, I'm going to talk a little bit about a new breathing practice called warrior breathing. It also has a yogic name for that too. So some yogic way, they call it Ujjayi Pranayama. So that is, but today we are talking warrior breathing. The advantage of warrior breathing is two. One, it helps you focusing your mind. The second, it also helps in your body as well as mind. On body, some diseases that you might have, that can help it. And on mind, it can help both the way. Your thoughts and your emotion, both is covered with those kind of a breath. Now I'm going to explain, and I'm going to have some feint of Tai Chi, just a little bit faint addition with this breath. So let me explain first what it is, how it can be done. And then I do one time practice, and then we all can do 3 times practice our own. So what it has done, so we have to take inhalation. We have to start with our knee. And while doing the inhalation, we have to stop at our belly button or the lower dantian, they call it, or around belly button. And while inhaling, we have to have a positive thinking, like a good health, good weather, all good thing while inhaling. And when you reach at that point at belly bottom or the lower dantian, you exhale with force, with your mouth open, and say, whoo, at you, whoo, with the force air inhalation through mouth. Then once it is done, then you start inhaling again from your lower dantian to your heart level. And also you can think about your body organs, and the heart is doing good and all the lungs are doing good and all the positive thinking. And when you reach at the heart level, you can forcefully say, ha, with the force, you can say, ha. Then again, you reach from your heart level to your third eye level, inhaling with the same positive thinking while inhaling. And then at the end, you can say, ho. So it to who at you first time, ho, ha, I mean, who, then ha, H-A. And the third one is ho. So who, ha, ho. So I'm going to do show you that practice one time. And then I think we should, those who can do it, we can do it 3 times practice on our own. I will do it, Kalind bhai will do it. And so let me get up. Okay, so I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to show, because while inhalation, I cannot talk, because you cannot talk and do inhalation. So I'm going to do who, ha, who, but I'm not going to do talking while inhaling. I'm going to have my positive thoughts. So I'm going to start. My knee from here. Who? Ha. Ho. Okay, do anybody have any question right now? So before we can start practicing, everybody? Anybody have a question, you can raise the hand, or Kalind be answer or I can answer it. Okay. Seems like everybody basically understood. Okay, now we do 3-time practice. Everybody should get up from the chair or wherever they are sitting and touch the knee area and then start from there. So I'm not going to say any more except who, oh. Who?
ડેટ જોડાઈ 20 થી 25 ની વચ્ચેની આવી રહી છે અત્યારે તો ડેટ. હા એટલે ખાસ કરીને પછી મેં કીધું કે આ મારી વીકેન્ડમાં આવવાની ઈચ્છા હતી પણ વીકેન્ડમાં એકચ્યુઅલી આ મોનલ ને બીજા એક
Okay. Sorry, let's start again. Sorry for disturbance by somebody. Okay, we start again for 3 times. Ho. Ha. Ho. Hu. Ha. Ho. Now this is called a warrior breathing, and in the army, to have a body heat generated, people, they will do it. So that's why their name is the warrior breathing. And I can pass over to Kalind Bhai now.
So I have a question for everybody. Just one question. In terms of understanding, there's just the mechanics of it. Did you understand the practice mechanics of it? How to be done? Raise your hand if you have understood that much. Okay. Looks like most of you have understood that. Now, any breath practice, okay, has components. And I want to spend a few minutes here because I do have a little bit extra time here to recognize the fact that breath is an outward movement. When the child was born, when we were born, we were not breathing. All the oxygen was given to a mom by the blood that came through and came into our belly button. They were connected there. And all the oxygen was supplied there, and that was not a whole lot of oxygen. We were not breathing anyway. But then the growth occurred, and then when we started breathing, the first breath that came in, it started first developing our body sensations. And so the breath, when we practice breath, the first thing is how do we do with the body, how the breathing is done, the mechanics of it, mechanical, the body part of it. So all these things that we're talking about, it goes through the nose, this area, that belly area, chest, all these, the mechanics of it, or biomechanics, we call it, biomechanics. It's a big word, but it's just how it is being done. So that's number one is the body part. The second part that happens, the oxygen goes in and maintains all the various things, the brain, the heart, lungs, the liver and kidney and everything else. So we know that oxygen is maintaining the whole body for us. That's number one. But the second level, that when we breathe in, is the mind function. Mind and the heart in the sense thoughts and emotions. And we see when the person is anxious, anxiety, what happens? Breathing, get afraid, you have all this kind of thing. You get scared or maybe have anxiety, and all of a sudden the breathing becomes different. Breathing is so hard. Why? Because the emotional center has connection with the breath center. And so emotions are very closely connected. When we are calm, it will be calm breathing. And what's fascinating is that they connect each other. So if you do the other way around, if you start slowing down and calm, your emotions will respond appropriately. So breath is like a handle. If you are upset, if a lot of things are going on, and people say count till 10, I feel like slapping somebody. Before I slap somebody, if I count to 10, I probably will sit down and not do anything. This anger, this is the whole emotion basket that we have. We carry, all of us carry that, and all of us get that way. I'm not an exception. Get angry sometimes, fight with the wife. Hey, this happens. It happens to everyone. Raise your hand if it's not happened to you. I don't think you're going to raise your hands, because this is exactly what our experience is. But when that happens, that's exactly the time when you can pick up the handle. This handle is like a breath handle, like a bucket. There's a lot of water in it, and pour on yourself. Calm down, This is very fascinating, because you can really do that. So awareness of breath, just at that time, it changes the emotional needle. A very, very, very important thing to do. So now, same way, thought process. If you are confused, if you don't know, supposing there's some problem that's happening in life, and you don't have an answer. Well, I told you that this thing increases the concentration. Now, when I did this, for example, my focus was on the bubbles. My focus was entirely on that straw. My focus, I wasn't thinking about what's happening in the life. This guy didn't come in for work today, and I wasn't thinking about any of this. My thought process was here. It increases concentration. It increases focus. It removes distraction. These practices are simple, but they are very helpful. So the distractions are removed, and people who really want to focus and get more out of it, say exam is there. If there's an exam, I would say blow some bubbles, before you go. It may solve some problems. It's very, very simple to do. Now, this thing leads me to some interesting angle. We were just chatting about it. Pannam and I were chatting about that before. Maybe it was Harish Bhai, I don't know, I forget who it was, but I was chatting about that. And I've seen many times relaxation, people who smoke, and this is not an exact good example, but it's still an example. Smoke. Ring, ring, ring. How many rings do they blow? And now they says smokers say, I get relaxed. They relax not because of cigarette, it's because they're exhaling slowly. Get that? And a very interesting story here. It's not the tobacco that's doing it. It's the way they're doing it. I'm just giving an example because it's something that, when you understand that, the mechanics of it, well, it's the wrong thing. But by the same token, that's what happens. So when Harish Bhai taught this particular technique, and I'm going to show you one more interpretation of it. I'm not going to, I can stand up. It's okay. I'll stand up. You don't have to stand up. I just want you to see this. So he talked about positive things in your body. I have negative things in my body also. Say my knee is hurting, things are hurting. I want to remove everything. Whatever is there, and I want to throw. Boom. Inhale. Boom. And inhale. Ha! This is in the heart and lungs area. And then you go from here up to the vein, third, and go hope. So removing the negative thoughts, removing whatever you want to really, if you're shaking it off, send it to the universe. Take it out of your body, take it out of your mind, and send it out. So this practice, therefore, is very, very helpful. Now, I want you to do one more thing before we finish. And this is very similar. This is a fun part, okay? I want to see everybody do this, okay? Those who are not on video, please turn the video on. You're just watching the show. We want to see you also. Yeah, thank you very much. Show your faces. Everybody show your faces. I'll probably, request everybody to show the faces, or, next time we'll remove them. Very important. I want the whole, everybody, I want the whole thing. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hi, so wonderful people here. That's great. Now, the reason why I want to do this is a little different. I want to show you what is known as lion's breath. And I'll show you that, everybody. I'll just show you one time, and the lion gets ready. Claw like this. Take a deep breath. Get your eyes popping up like this, open. Go back. And the lion is going to pop in. And what he's going to do is take a deep breath, inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to say, ah! Get your tongue as much out as possible. And exhale very, very strongly. Okay. Inhale and exhale. First, set it up. Set up as a lion first. Set up. Always set up. Bend down a little bit. Bend down a little bit. In front. Tighten everything. Tighten the biceps and upper body and tighten. Let's do it one more time. One more time. I'm liking it. I will do one more time. Now, what's fascinating to me is, I don't know how you feel, but it gets out all the negativities, your anger. You won't be angry at somebody else. You get completely flat, The emotions become so nice and resolved, by the time you finish this. Important thing is that you get out the pent up emotions, and it's out. Number two, it really gets all the energy systems to be parallel, to be balanced. Number three, we also know nadis, and we also know dantians, and also the meridians. The meridians have clogging occur. That's why we are sick. Sickness occurs from clogging of the energy channels. When you do these practices, like Harish Bhai showed the warrior's breath, when you do these kinds of sudden practices and coordinate with breath, okay? See, because we expel everything through breath. We expel through skin, air, and urine, and of course feces. But the feces is not once or twice a day, maybe water, but then urine also that often. But breathing is very often. You see, breathing is more continuous all the time. In fact, as I said, the surface area of the lung is so big. 100 square meters is the surface area in the lung. 2 square meters is the surface of skin. 50 square meters surface of the intestinal area. So you can imagine how much big area we have to expel all the negative things. So when we do breath practices, in reality, breathing can solve any problems. Proper breathing will make you healthy. There is no question in my mind anymore. I used to worry about that, and I'm a surgeon. I cut and sew and say remove that, and everything will be fine. Not anymore. I really know that to be healthy is to breathe healthy. Okay. So today we introduce you to various practices, but a couple of practices are very important. And please recognize the value of this and practice it on a regular basis. So on that, I'll open up for questions. Okay. Any questions? Please ask. Thank you for showing all the faces. I really appreciate your presence. I like a full house, Darbar bhala bhara hua hai. Okay. Any questions? Raise your hand. Looks like they're all.
This is Ashok from New York.
Yes, sir.
Brooklyn. Just a piece of information. I listen to NPR radio stations. Every day, 1 o'clock, what we just practicing, they practice to the whole audience. The host of that show is Allison. I have recorded same breathing things what we go through right now here, just to see how they have it,
Going on in the world these days, if you just need a minute, we want to encourage you to take 1 minute for yourself to quiet your mind, block out the noise, and breathe. Here's WNYC's meditation leader, Lorraine Maddox.
Find a comfortable seat and close your eyes. Relax the muscles of the face. Let the jaw be soft. Shoulders back and down. Release the belly. Let your fingers be soft on your thighs. And for the next few moments, just focus on your inhales and your exhales. Focus on the rise of your chest as you breathe in and the fall of your chest as you breathe out. Take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. One more just like that. Deep breath in. Slow breath out.
It's not that interesting.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing. And in reality, I think it's very simple. And I'm glad that you're following that, and I hope you're practicing. Are you practice every day, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many hours a day?
10 minutes, breathing
10 minutes
in
a
and
day?
out.
Yeah, one of the things that we emphasize in this particular program is that our body is working 24/7. So I would really request everybody to be more and more aware of this, not just 10 minutes, 3 times a week or something like that, constantly, because this program, when we talk about this program being, when you're walking, when you're working, it's 100% awareness, because the breath centers are aware 24/7. Okay, they work. They don't ask us, can I breathe now? The heart will not ask you, can I beat now, or can I stop doing it? They don't ask you that. So consciousness of breathing is something that so I really appreciate you sharing that, and it's wonderful practice. And I would say, let's imbibe that in our life. And I appreciate a few of you here. And today we were just chatting with our friends here, and Bakulbai was particularly mentioning that he is constantly breathing the same way. Breathing. So, and Bakulbai and Jayantibai, I mean, these are the people who have been practicing for a long, long time, and I really appreciate that, because people who have been doing constantly, they are the ones who, so let's do all of that. I'm also trying my best. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us, though. Anybody else? So let's increase the practices, okay? And one of the things I highly suggest, okay, I know we're not in schools, but I highly suggest, let me show you. I have this journal. And in that journal, I journal every day, every single day, what I learn. So let's start doing it, and let's start that's if you really want to get the most out of it, okay? Anything else, Pannavin?
No, we appreciate very much everyone joining every Wednesday. And like Kalind Bhai said, we all should practice, I think, at least 10 minutes, 3 to 4 times a day. If we can do it slowly, it gets better. Our numbers go up. We feel I think we should really practice a lot. I think Bakul Bhai, you should describe your experience. I think you describe it very well. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kalind Bhai. Thank you, Pannaben. Yeah, as the as the name suggests, this is a conscious breathing, and we are all conscious 24 hours a day, except sleeping, but otherwise we are conscious. So we have to breathe, and once we start breathing that way, it becomes a habit. And in my case, at least I can speak for myself, it has become a habit to have a deep breathing, belly breathing. I hardly breathe through the chest, and if I start breathing in chest, it doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel right now. It feels like I'm doing something wrong or something not right, so it is become like a natural to have a deep breathing, belly breathing, and that has increased my endurance in exercise, walking, everything, and I see the benefit of it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. One of the other things I would just want to plug in is the fact that these videos are on YouTube, and please subscribe. There are more videos than just this. Subscribe to Breath Lab, Dr. Kalind Bakshi, and every day there's some additional videos. I have some people from India there. He was asking me about feeling sleepy, after food. What do? I don't want to eat, drink coffee. So we led him through a little different breath practice. So you'll be finding all these little nuggets, and any one of you want to interview with me on a YouTube, please welcome, let me know. We can chat, you bring your question and we will solve it, and everybody will be benefited from that, okay? So I really appreciate, and Deepak Bhai has done this, Harish Bhai has done this and a few times, and so it's really a journey for everyone. So welcome everyone, that's all. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.